Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Adam Mohammed Usman and welcome to Somaliland National Television News English, here to bring you the latest news. Let's start with these stories making the headlines. Vice President of Somaliland attends an event to relocate several less than fortunate families. Minister of Education and Higher Studies Samsam Abdi Adan met with the President of Alpha University. Ministry of Justice undertakes 5-day training workshop on criminology. Renzi sworn in as new Italian Prime Minister. The Vice President of Somaliland, accompanied by the Minister of Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Repatriation, joined by the Mayor of Hargeisa, cut the ribbon on developmental projects that were undertaken to relocate several less than fortunate families. The Vice President, Abdurrahman Abdullah Ismail Sali'i, speaking at the event, stated that the Somaliland government has taken an integral role in relocating these families who were previously squatting in illegal camps. Vice President, accompanied by Hargeisa's municipality and the Ministry of Rehabilitation, Resettlement and Repatriation, accompanied by UN agencies, provided shelter for these less than fortunate families. The Minister of Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Repatriation spoke at the event, and he stated that the government provided homes for more than 800 families who were illegally squatting in several neighborhoods across the capital city, Hargeisa. The minister pledged that the government will undertake several other developmental projects with the aim of relieving hardship and desperate living conditions of less than fortunate families. Other esteemed guests at the event pointed out the underlying necessity of undertaking such developmental efforts and urged the government to continue to ensure that less than fortunate families were provided for with things such as shelters and other essential services. Minister of Education and Higher Studies Samsam Abdi Adan met with the President of Alpha University.
Minister of Education and Higher Studies Samsam Abdi Adan is speaking on the efforts of the ministry takes in strengthening cooperation among the universities, as well as the relationship between the university and the increasing number of universities in Somaliland. The minister reiterated that the Ministry of Education will continue to amplify efforts and expressed hope of further development. The minister commended the development steps of Alpha University, an Ethiopia-based university with campuses in Somaliland, a university acknowledged throughout Somaliland for its pivotal role in providing Somaliland students with excellent higher education.
Vice Minister of Justice attended an event focusing on criminology and human rights principles, as well as ethical principles relating to the advocacy services at national courts.
Vice Minister of Justice, speaking at the event, pointed out that the Ministry of Justice has and continues serving the nation with efforts of enhancing judiciary services. Today we're here for the initiation of a 5-day seminar for enhancing the participants' knowledge and experience towards the international professional codes of criminology, human rights principles, the prisoners' rights for justice and collective jury system, as well as the advocacy services. This is not the first and will not be the last of such a seminar. On the contrary, the Ministry of Justice continues to enhance the national judiciary system. More development has been portrayed thus far on a number of forefronts. We hope to utilize the current 5-day seminar, said the Somaliland's Vice Minister of Justice. Athanasia Sikiotu, a lecturer at this workshop, as well as an assistant professor of criminology at the Dikmorkoto University of Thrace in Athens, provided brief remarks at the event. She commended the Somaliland's platform towards boosting an extremely neutral and unbiased jury system, a country acknowledged throughout the world as a beacon of hope for other developing nations for its towering efforts to provide citizens an access to a more coordinated judicial system, facilitated by the judiciary systems. Athanasia also elaborated on the lectures from which participants will utilize for the professional principles relating to the international jury systems and better serving clienteles as a lawyer or as a human rights advocate. Other keynote speakers at the event urged participants to better utilize the seminar for boosting judiciary services for the public of Somaliland.
Somaliland parliamentarians welcomed the recent display of equipment and funds for the renovation of the road linking Bur'o and Erigavo. Parliamentarian Abdelkader Chama Hamoud praised the current government efforts towards renovating the road linking Togdel regional capital Bur'o and Sanag regional capital Erigavo. The equipment and funds which the government displayed for the public last night. earlier. The committee responsible for this renovation of the road linking Bur'a and Igaro held an event which also included members of the Somaliland cabinet. Parliamentarian Abdurrahman Haji Osman spoke to the press and praised the major efforts taken by the government, reiterating the underlying necessity for road development in every developing nation, and urged the government to continue such renovations linking several of the regions across Somaliland. An event took place to commemorate the graduation of several students who utilized education of the Quran-related lessons held at Ali Matan Mosque in the capital of Somaliland, Hargeisa. The Imam of Ali Matan Mosque, Sheikh Mohammed Adan Muhammad, speaking at the event, stated that the mosque serves not only prayers but also as a school, which provides people with religious teaching and constant programs with the aim of enhancing religious knowledge to many members of the public. The Imam also elaborated on the major efforts taken by the mosque to further boost constant religious lessons at the mosque, as well as encouraging youth to further their knowledge towards or regarding the Islamic religion. Sheikh Abdurrahman Abdi Ahmed, the religious scholar who supported the efforts of teaching students the Quran and other related Islamic studies, urged students to further their education and utilize all sermons and programs with the intention of spreading religious guidance and Islamic studies. Sheikh Abdurrahman Khair, speaking on the behalf of Al-Risala School, commended 18 students for their wholeheartedness in furthering their Quranic education and pledged that the Al-Risala School will be providing free classes of Islamic studies to enhance their knowledge. Marodi Chahs, regional coordinator for the Ministry of Religious Affairs, stated that the ministry encourages all efforts taken by religious scholars and promised prospective plans with the aim of bettering youth education in Islam. The event concluded with the minister providing certificates to 18 graduating students. Governor of the Selal region, Abdurrazak Waberi Roble, accompanied by members of the regional district and police officers, took a supervision tour of several districts in the Selal region.
Governor of Selal region, Abdurrazak Waberi Roble, took a supervision tour to several districts where he met with residents and cultural leaders in the area. Residents informed the governor of their living conditions and commended the current steps taken by the government to provide municipality water supplies for many residents in several districts. Cultural leaders urged the government to continue such a portrayal of development. The governor of Selal region, Abdurrazak Waberi Roble, stated that this visit to these districts was one of assessment and further understanding the ongoing development efforts taken by the government in ensuring more development as well as the residents' living conditions.
Ukraine's opposition leader, Yulia Tymoshenko, has called for continued demonstrations in the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. Her powerful and passionate plea for further protests against the ousted President Viktor Yanukovych capped an extraordinary day of events. It came hours after Parliament approved a measure allowing the former Prime Minister to be freed after spending 30 months in jail for abuse of power. Glory to Ukraine. My dears, I was dreaming of looking into your eyes. I was dreaming of feeling that strength that changed everything. I was dreaming of touching every single one of you to support you in this difficult moment. You are the heroes. You are the best asset of Ukraine. Yulia Tymoshenko paid special tribute to the 82 people now known to have died in this week's violent clashes. Tymoshenko, 53, also broke down in tears several times, asking the crowd to forgive her and other politicians for failing them. We must do a few important things together. Firstly, we must ensure that Yanukovych and all that garbage around him are brought here to Maidan. Her words were welcomed by most of the crowd, and some people whistled and booed, a sign perhaps that Tymoshenko remains a controversial figure. Italy rang changes on Saturday when the country's youngest ever Prime Minister, Matteo Renzi, and his new cabinet were sworn in, marking a new and ambitious era for the financially troubled nation. The swearing-in ceremony took place 1 week after Renzi toppled Enrico Letta's government in an intra-party dispute. The 39-year-old 16-member cabinet is one of the smallest, with an average age of 48, the youngest in recent Italian history. With half of the ministers being women, it also underlines the image of a fresh start, which Renzi has built his reputation. Federica Mogherini is the second woman in a row to be foreign minister after outgoing Emma Bonino, while Roberto Pinito becomes the first woman to hold the job of defense minister. Renzi is the third prime minister to reach office without winning an election. Among the major concerns for many Italians are the lack of a mandate from voters and lack of experience within the cabinet. One passerby said, "There's a change in the air, but how can I say experience is often quoted as a fundamental ingredient for success. Many of these ministers have no experience. This doesn't mean we need to condemn them in advance, but let's see if they are able to win the confidence of electors in the field." The first tests for Mr. Renzi's new government will be a vote of confidence in the Senate, scheduled for Monday, while another will follow on Tuesday in the lower house. And that's all the news we have for you today. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.